member, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute. I know it's been a minute. Not as long a minute as it was last time, but I was on a roll. I was having fun. I was catching up on all these things, and I was like, I want to make all these videos. And I had originally planned to make a video every weekend, like before. That was my schedule, or at least maybe one or two. And then I ended up making one like every day, and it was fun. And then I started school up again, and I had to work that back into my schedule. Basically, I was taking a class. I don't know if I mentioned this in my COVID video. I was taking a class, got COVID, couldn't finish it. So then throughout the whole next month, I was finishing up that class, had a lot more free time because it was only just like a couple assignments. And that kind of gave me like a lot more time to be able to film videos. But now I have homework again, and my life has gotten more busy, and I have to kind of like figure that out. It's okay, it's all right. Now I'm hoping every weekend we can do that again. I'm back, and we're doing a book review. This is called Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. It's a book by Shea Earnshaw. I love this book. It was such a cute little book. I think like just getting Sally's perspective is just so refreshing, because she in the movie was just kind of like, we fell in love with her, but we didn't get too much about her. She was just kind of like the rag doll that fell in love with Jack, and she was kind and sweet and kind of put him in his place at times, but really like seeing where she comes from, all the things that she deals with in her head, how her past, you know, really defines her, or at least she thinks it does, and then dealing with all these new things after marrying Jack. She marries Jack, and having to kind of figure herself out now. Like, who is she after the events of the first movie? Like, she now has a husband, and now is the first pumpkin queen of Halloween Town, and they've never had a pumpkin queen before, and there's all these expectations, and she feels like she can't reach them and is nervous and scared, and it's just like this roller coaster of emotions that is so beautiful. And she ends up discovering not only like who she is as the pumpkin queen of Halloween Town, but also like that, you know, she is not this person who she thought she was, but then she's also this person, and she can like also incorporate all these different things into being the new queen. And it's a magical adventure, and I love it. So this book takes place right after the events of the movie, but it's like a year later. The movie, if I can recall correctly, ended when it was Christmas time, and this takes place like right before Halloween time of the next year. At least I think so, because like they're prepping for Halloween all year long, basically. But they're like, Halloween is just a few weeks away, so I'm assuming it's like already like the end of September. But they get married, and it starts off at their wedding, and like it's this big celebration, and then right off the bat, like she's being called the Pumpkin Queen, and then she has like all these nerves, and everything kind of settles in like, wow, this happened. Like, I'm finally married to the man I love, and also now I have to be the first pumpkin queen of Halloween Town. And then it just kind of like the whole basis of the story like is thrown like right at her, like right at us. Like it shows, I think, two different sides of her that I really love seeing, where like was her love for Jack and just enjoying that, and enjoying their marriage, and enjoying their honeymoon in Valentine's Day Town, and then also like in the back of her mind, like just having this utter fear of what is to come when they get back, and she's gonna have to be this new queen, and their honeymoon Valentine's Day Down is just so cute, so perfect. I expected something to go wrong somehow, just because like of how abrasive the, what's her name, like the ruler, the queen of Valentine's Day Town is, but she ends up being like, I guess, a sweet gal. But like I love how there was always like this tension, suspense, and you didn't exactly know the villain or the thing that she was gonna have to conquer, other than just like her feelings. I was just like, who's gonna be the bad guy? We have no more Oogie Boogie, and our bad guy ends up being Sandman, and it's just like, okay, all right, I could vibe with this. And he ends up being just a cranky old man who wants to sleep because he can't sleep, and that's so unfortunate though. Sleep is so important. And he just can't sleep, and like, so that's why he cranky, and he comes and he's like going to different towns, and he's like stealing all these people's dreams and putting them to sleep, and it's just like, I love the way that they described him, because in my head I am just thinking like the Sandman from what was it called, Guardians, I was gonna say Guardians of the Galaxy, uh, that one movie with Jack Frost and all that. I was thinking like cute little like no, like I love that he was like this kind of like starry kind of ghostly figure. It was so cool. And we didn't know that he was just cranky and didn't sleep until the end, when Sally knocks him out basically, with the sleeping tonic potion thing, of things that I think are just like gonna poison someone, honestly, but okay. And like she ends up being this like mega like but like awesome individual that I love. And I love how we got to go to all the different towns and meet all these different characters and like descriptions. Like we couldn't go to every single town because like if we went to every, it would get kind of repetitive. But like we went to a few towns. We went to St. Patrick's Day town. We went to Dreamtown. We went to what else? Easter Town. All these different ones, and they like explained like, you know, the kind of like vibe and the scenery and like everything, and it's just so cool. Like just seeing and exploring all the different worlds that were kind of introduced to us, but like in more detail. Um, and Sally just running away when they're trying to like, you know, make her gown and put on a crown on her, and just like is so done with them, and like just like runs off into the woods, is just, I think, such a beautifully depicted like scene of how like her mental state is. I just love that this book was just like, it was about these characters, but it was also so human, like you could relate to it. Like, yes, I feel you. I just want to go run off into the woods sometimes and like run away from all these people. And it's also just fun and witty, finding out that Sally is from Dreamtown, and like the Ragdolls are from Dreamtown. It's just like, well, that kind of makes sense, you know, why. It was a little odd for me at first. I'm like, there's a rag doll for Halloween, but then like, you know, we have like Chucky and stuff, you know, so it kind of was like, yeah, okay. But now like she's like a rag doll like to go to sleep with, and it just like, that's why the sand wasn't affecting her and everything. And I'm just like, okay, all right. And then meet her parents and everything, like it was just like this love-hate relationship. Like she didn't know like if she could trust them, and then she does trust them, and then they lock her up, and I'm like, what is happening? But then it's like, at the same time, you know, she knows that they did it because they love her, but at the same time I'm like getting mad at them because I'm like, what on earth? Like, you trapped her in a room, you destroyed the, like, come on people, come on, like I'm mad here. um and I was like, I wouldn't have forgiven them so easily, Sally, but okay, it's a kid's like book, it's fine. But like there's just so much dynamics going on, and I love that. And the only thing that was a little bit questionable for me, besides like her parents like in locking her up, like, all right, uh Jack was very, oh my bride, oh my sweetheart, and I'm like, okay, I'm not saying that Jack is not like a loving, affectionate individual, but like Jack didn't really listen to her in the first one. It wasn't until like the end where it was just kind of like, oh, like you were right all along, you know? Maybe like he's changed, but I'm like, Sally, look, he wasn't exactly. I don't know how you're so in love with him, but okay. But you stuck with him. So there was just Jack. I felt was not 100% fully Jack. I found him very romantic. You know, he was very sweet, but I just felt there were certain elements of Jack that were like in the first movie which is why we love Jack. And I'm not saying that he can't have learned from his lessons and everything. And I wanted to see that new and improved Jack, but it's like kind of like this is how he always was. That's why I fell in love with him and this and that. I was like, I kind of wanted to see your perspective of Jack before what happened, because like in the like first couple pages, like they explained, oh, when Jack tried to like, you know, take over Christmas, and but it's done in such a like nonchalant way, and I'm just like, this was bad. Like, okay, um he made mistakes. Like I kind of want to see like how he just was on a regular basis in her eyes, and then how he has evolved now, if all this time has passed. Like I just kind of wanted to see that, but it's okay. It's okay. Um, and so I love how we got to see like all of the characters that we loved before. So many new characters from Halloween Town, not just the other towns from Halloween Town, and they were like just like described like as like these grotesque creatures and everything, and it was very like you could like picture the original town, like, and I love that like all the imagery was like very accurate to like how it was when you like watched it on TV, like that imagery that you're like writing about. And it's not even like you know, the person who wrote the script for the movie, like, you know, like, and she did, I think, a fantastic job, and she was entrusted to write the story, and I think she did great, and she did her research for sure. Was it kind of Tim Burton-esque? I would say in imagery, yes. But in the writing, at least from Sally's point of view, no. And I kind of appreciated that because it lended a whole other lens to just, it made it more humane, like I said before. It was really relatable, and I think that was necessary for this book. Just because, like, you know, like it was the way it was done, like, you know, it was fun and everything, but I think it added a new level to these characters, and particularly to Sally, and learning more about her I think was just so great, and it just makes me love her even more. And then we discover that there's all these other groves of trees, and like there's all these different towns that have like just like, and I think they could have been more creative with the towns. Like Dreamtown was cool and everything, but like now we're doing like what's it called, Father Time Town, and now we're not naming holidays, now we're just naming like the like magical figures, you know, like, but it's fine. And like the fact that, you know, she was like stolen as a kid and like taken away and studied and like ripped apart, like that is so messed up, and they did it in such a like nonchalant way that worked. But I was just like, okay, I like this, but I also kind of find it funny that we're just kind of like, okay, you know. But I think her, I can't say the name, Dr. Finkelstein. I think that his punishment is well overdue. And the fact that like it was hidden, and that door was just long forgotten, like there's all these lost realms and everything. It's really cool. And I think it left off on a good note where it's like we don't have to create another like book after this or like another movie. That'd be cool, but like I think we left it on a good, you know, no. And I definitely think the Nightmare Before Christmas fans should definitely read this book, just because like it has all the feels and it's great, and I think it's a great continuation. And you know, we see all these pictures online of them having kids and everything, and it's like that's talked about here, you know, briefly, but it's like it kind of like it's just all the feels, all the feels, and it's so good. And in the end, like her just being like, I'm the pumpkin queen, I'm from Dreamtown, like I'm the basically the princess of this other town, you know, and I'm the queen here, and I beat the Sandman, and I accept who I am, and like I'm also this, and I'm gonna be a great queen because I, you know, like go you, go you. Go you. You're Sally, you know? Like, you have all these different things that make you who you are. That's why Jack loves you so much and everything. And you don't have to be this queen. Like, you know, and the fact that he's so respectful of that is just like, yes, yes. But yeah. And then Zero just is so cute. Just him, like, being there, protecting Jack. Like, everything about Zero is so cute. He was just so cute in this book. He didn't have to be, like, there every second for me just to, like, think, like, he just did a fantastic job. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see y'all real soon. Bye!